Well, I feel like there should be like a minimum, but not a most. Because like, if you want to go, beyond, that's on you. But like a minimum, I feel like if I'm gonna get ready and I'm gonna use all my products to come out with you, I need like a minimum of $200, a minimum, and that's like being nice.
And what does the man get in return for that?
My presence.
But aren't you having his presence within you already?
I had to know. I mean, I hear you, but no. No. I mean, like, I'm
How
here
is
to
it
get
different?
to know you. I'm here to get to know you. You invited me out.
But he has to drop $200.
Yeah. Because
Minimum.
yeah. Because you
just
invited
because
me out.
just because you have to do your makeup?
Because I have to. Okay, so we're gonna do the math. My moisturizer is $400. My eye cream is $300. My serum is like another $300. My makeup, not included. So if I have to spend, that's my money. I'm spending my money on these products. I'm gonna use these products.
What are you using them for, though?
For myself.
Okay.
But I'm gonna use these products and I'm gonna show up because it's not like I'm gonna show up in sweats.
The man doesn't owe you anything if you're just getting to know each other.
If you're inviting me out, you owe me a date.
How about you just come over and drink wine and let's watch Netflix?
I'm not your friend. I'm not. No, that's.
We don't have
not
to put a label on it.
No. I mean, if you're inviting me out, I don't know you. I'm not coming over. You're taking me out. We're going to meet each other. We're going to get to know each other. And if I want to come over another time, that's different.
McDonald's at best.
If you take me to McDonald's, I'm leaving.
Are you a virgin?
Would you spend $200 on a first date? Picture this. A woman argues that a man should shell out at least this sum on their inaugural outing. Her justification? The time, effort, and expense she's invested into her makeup and serum. It's a bold demand, one that stirs up a whirlwind of questions. Why should this monetary value be a baseline expectation? How does it reflect on the dynamics of dating and gender expectations? Now let's delve into the specifics of this scenario. Imagine spending hours prepping for a date, dolling up, and expecting something in return. From this woman's perspective, a date isn't just a casual meetup. It's a full-on event requiring meticulous preparation. We're talking about the time and effort spent on choosing the perfect outfit that straddles the line between trying too hard and not trying hard enough. There's the mental preparation too, where she rehearses possible conversation starters and quick-witted responses. Then comes the makeup, an art form in its own right. It's not just about slapping on some foundation and mascara. No, we're talking about a multi-step process involving primers, concealers, contouring, highlighting, the perfect winged eyeliner, and a lipstick shade that complements her skin tone just right. And let's not forget the skincare routine before all that, involving serums and moisturizers that promise to give her that natural glow. All these require not just time, but money too. The outfit, the makeup, the skincare products, they all add up. And it's not just about looking good, it's about feeling confident and ready to take on the world, or in this case, a potential partner. So, when this woman steps out of her door, she's not just a person going on a date. She's a masterpiece, a result of hours of hard work, a significant amount of money, and a whole lot of dedication. From her perspective, she's investing in this date, in this potential relationship. And in her mind, it's only fair that the man sitting across the table from her reciprocates in kind. She's not just expecting a free meal or a movie ticket. She's expecting a recognition of her efforts, a monetary reciprocation that says, I see the effort you've put in, and I appreciate it. So she holds a view that her efforts should be rewarded. Now let's switch to the other side of this coin. Scene script. Picture this, you're a man asked to spend $200 on a first date. How would you react? Well, let's delve into the man's perspective. Imagine you're looking forward to a pleasant evening, hoping to get to know someone better. You're excited, maybe a little nervous, but the anticipation is part of the thrill. Then you hear that the entry fee, just to be considered for a second date, is $200. Suddenly the excitement turns into a feeling of being evaluated, not for who you are, but for how much you're willing to spend. You might start wondering, is this a date or an investment? Indeed, spending $200 on a first date might feel like a high-risk venture. Why? Because you're not just investing your money, you're investing your time and emotions. And the return? It's uncertain. Let's face it. First dates are about exploration and discovery. It's all about finding out if you're compatible with the other person, if there's a spark, if there's potential for something more. But what if you spend those $200 only to find out you're as compatible as oil and water? That's a steep price to pay for a lesson learned. And then, there's the fear of attracting a gold digger. It's not about being stingy or ungenerous, it's about the fear of being valued for your wallet, rather than your personality, your character, your sense of humor. No one wants to feel like they're being used, especially not when they're looking for a genuine connection. In the same breath, consider this. When she goes out clubbing with her girlfriends, she doesn't expect them to buy her drinks just because she put on makeup. So, why should the rules be different for a date? From this viewpoint, a $200 first date may seem like a steep price to pay for uncertainty. Now let's consider the social context of this situation. We live in a society where norms and expectations around dating are ever evolving. The idea of the man footing the bill on a date has its roots in a time when women were not financially independent and dating was a pathway to marriage. But times have changed. Women now are not only financially independent, but in many cases they are the breadwinners. Yet the expectation for men to pay on dates, especially the first one, seems to have stuck around. Now let's think about this. Our friend here expects a man to shell out $200 at the very least on their first date. Her justification? She spent time and money on makeup and serum to look her best. But when she's out clubbing with her girlfriends, there isn't a similar expectation. She doesn't demand her friends buy her drinks because she spent a small fortune on cosmetics. So, why the double standard? It seems like the social context plays a significant role here. The expectation of a man spending on a date is not just about the money but also about the perceived value. It's as if she's saying, I've put effort into looking good for you, so you should reciprocate by spending money on me. But is this fair? Is it fair to hold on to an expectation that stems from a bygone era, especially when the social context has evolved so much? Moreover, the focus on money spent rather than the compatibility of the two individuals, or the quality of the connection they might share, seems misplaced. The value of a date should not be measured in dollars and cents but in shared moments and mutual respect. It's high time we reassess these societal expectations. Dating should be about getting to know each other, finding common ground, and establishing a connection, not about how much money one person spends on the other. It seems there's a disparity in expectations based on the context of the outing. Let's weigh the arguments rationally. First, let's look at the financial implications of this $200 first date rule. In today's economy, that's no small sum to drop on a single evening. For Our Lady, her investment in makeup and skincare products is a long-term one, not just for one date. She'll use that serum and that eyeshadow palette for several months, if not longer. So, is it fair to expect a man to match her cosmetic investment in one night? From the man's perspective, it's a significant risk. He's spending a considerable amount up front, not knowing if there's going to be a second date, or if there's even compatibility. It's like buying a lottery ticket. You're spending money on a chance, not a guarantee. Then there's the societal norms to consider. We've moved away from the expectation that the man always pays for the date. It's become more common for couples to split the bill or take turns paying. So this $200 demand in a way feels like a step backward. It reestablishes the outdated notion that the man is the provider and the woman is the receiver. As for the principle of fairness, let's remember that dating is not a transaction. It's about connection, finding common ground, and hopefully, building a relationship. By putting a price tag on the date, it takes away from the authenticity of the interaction. It's not about what you spend, it's about the time you spend together. And let's not forget the double standard. When she goes out with her girlfriends, she doesn't expect them to foot the bill for her makeup costs. So why should a man? Through this lens, the question of to spend or not to spend $200 on a first date becomes a matter of personal values and individual circumstances. It's not about the money, it's about the approach to dating, the respect for each other's financial situation, and the understanding that a great date isn't determined by the size of the bill. So, what's the verdict? We've gone through a whirlwind of perspectives today, putting ourselves in the shoes of both the woman and the man in this scenario. On one hand, we have a woman who believes that her efforts to look good for a date should be matched with a similar financial investment from the man. On the other hand, we have a man who may feel that such a demand is a bit too steep for a first date and may not guarantee compatibility, or worse, might be an indication of a gold digger. We've also delved into the wider social context, where societal norms and expectations come into play. The complex dynamics of dating, the roles that men and women are expected to play, and the potential pitfalls of misunderstanding or miscommunication. And then we've navigated the rational argument, questioning why such a disparity exists in the first place. We've questioned why the man should bear the financial burden of a first date, and why a woman's investment in her appearance should translate into a monetary expectation from her date. But as we've seen, this issue is far from black and white. It's a complex tapestry woven by personal beliefs, societal norms, and individual experiences. Ultimately, I wouldn't advise any guy to spend $200 on the first date or even $100. Please don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe with bell notifications, and share.